Hey guys. I told myself I wasn't going to say hey guys much. And here I am. Saying hey guys. Anyways. I got the Inner Circle Task Force for Christmas. When I don't play Dark Angels, I figured, why not? I should put that over here so I see what I'm seeing. There we go. I figured I should put it together. I'm not going to make them raptors, but I don't know, shoot. Maybe some sort of smaller skirmish army or something, I don't know. So I'm not going to rebuy anything. Although, I did that subscription from Hatchet Publications, so I might get some. Let's see. I should say hi to the chat. Hi. Alright. Now let's get back to it. I started to put together the Chaplain. I already did this guy once before for my raptors. Well, this time I'm going to make it with the shield instead of the Stormbolter. I was just going to do this until my wife woke up. I figured, might as well stream it. I also wonder, this is usually some of the people I usually talk to hang out this late at night. It's always nice. It's always a nice way to start the day. I was going to paint. I've got those Necrons and I've got those Imperial Guard pugs. I don't know, I just wasn't feeling creative enough. But putting together little plastic guys, that's easy enough. This Chaplin's not my favorite figure. But he looks better with the shield, I think. Hey creature, how you doing? Still trying to figure out what I'm going to do with these Dark Angel guys. feel like I should do something interesting or out of the ordinary with them. Like some sort of shtick. Like, I had a big idea of making that young Lionel Johnson came back and he finds out what the Dark Angels have become, so he does some sort of retro thing, which is really just an excuse to paint them their Horus Heresy colors. Oh, cool, thank you, creature. This is always so much nicer to do with people to talk to. And I was like, alright, I've got a few hours before my wife wakes up. I'd stream a little bit while doing this. It's a chance to talk to people. And hopefully have some positivity before the day starts. You know? I was doing some Imperial Guard pugs. I'm going to paint them for my wife for Valentine's Day. Because we have a French Bulldog, but not a pug, but they look a lot like our pug. I thought she might get a kick out of it. Silly. Yeah, there's 4 of them. Do you want to see the other ones? There's a Catachan one. And here's a Krieg one. Krieg. And I don't remember what these are called. The Vostok? I'm not sure. Vostorin? I don't remember what they're called. But I got them set for Slap Chop. Then I was like, oh, I need to be in the right mindset to paint tonight, or for them. So I want to do it good, you know. And so I'm just going to hold off until, you know, so I'm waking up. Or a little out of it. Yeah, he's one of the best ones. The Catachan. I like the Krieg one, because I'm building a Krieg army, so he's definitely going to be the mascot. Although I've got like 3 of them, 3 sets of them. This I get 3D printing done from Etsy, and I have this one guy who does most of my 3D printing for me. He printed out 4 sets of them for me for free when I was placing an order. It was so nice of him. That was good. Here's my glue. I lost the cap to my super glue. I don't know where it is. I'll probably find it in the dog's mouth sometime. Okay, let me get this guy going. Okay. Oh, that's pretty straightforward. Oh, is there a Warcry squad? Well, isn't there the Ratlings? The Ratlings have a little dog. Well, I found that creature that's very similar. I've had hit or miss experiences on Etsy, but I have this one guy that he's just proven out every single time, and he's the only one I use anymore. Like, if I didn't have him, I would not be using Etsy much at all. And it's the Scale Tails is their vendor name, and they always do right by me. And they're this great mix of value. Their price is great, but they do 12 and 16K resolution things, and the quality is always exceptional. And so I've been completely taken by them. So I try not to use anybody else. But fancy, I was thinking the Ratlings use a dog, except I just don't like Ratlings. Oh, Mungo's Marvelous Minis. Cool. I actually am building a table. I'm actually looking for terrain. But although I've already kind of placed an order with these other guys, so I'll see if there's any other stuff I need. Since I've got most of my guys are based in the scale tails. It's the and scale like animal scale tails, and like a myth tales, a story. The guy's name is Dieter. It's a job he does with his wife, and they're really coming along. I think they're hoping to be able to do it full time, and they're really dedicating a lot of effort to it. Super great customer service, really good people. If you tell them that CC sent you, they'll do right by you. Because I've done a lot of business with them. Yeah. He goes in, like, he doesn't put things up there too willy nilly. He'll put stuff up there, and he's printed it. He'll have comments on it. He'll have like a little hint tips on it. He has a lot of station forge things, which is how I built a lot of my Kriegsmen. So yeah, they're good folks. I should have put these on first. Duh. Before attaching the legs. So what do you think, Vanzik? Should I do like yeah. Should I do Dark Angels in their old black and red? So I'm kind of tempted. Let's see, where was I? Over here. Yeah, he all those basically those dwarfs from Highland Minis and those Empire guys from Highland Minis. I was his first customer to get I got entire armies from them because I was going into Old World, and I was like, I want Empire, but I want more to scale 32 millimeter because I had gone into Old World, but I was using Age of Sigmar figures, so I needed something more to scale with it than what Games Workshop is releasing now. And he printed up me the entire army, and the first one there was only like one or two problems with it. The second one was perfect, the dwarf army that I got, and there's not a thing wrong with it, except I screwed up once and I put like the the grudge thrower. I put one backwards, but then he's like, you have to really know what you're looking for to see it. But it amuses me because I see it every now and then. I'm like, that grudge thrower will not work. Yeah, I'm sometimes reluctant to stream late at night. But I know on some level I'm like, you don't really like the Heresy Dark Angel look? I kind of liked it because, well, it was the first thing that I actually tried to paint. Well, the first thing I tried to paint was Crimson Fist with that 30 Marine box set. But that was more like my sister's boyfriend at the time. He got them for me, and I was 13 or 14. And he's like, we'll paint them like the box. I was like, okay. But then when I got the gumption to do my own, I did Dark Angels terribly, very badly. It was very the first thing I ever painted. It was just spray paint them black, little red. Well, it's the Dark Angels are green now. They're like a dark green, while they used to be black and a red. Yeah. I like the whole thing of black and white and a tiny bit of red. Did they have checkerboards? I didn't think they had checkerboards. If I'm trying to remember the imagery I saw, because I think the main reason I liked it was because they had those 2 pages in Rogue Trader, whereas all the Space Marine chapters that they had listed. And yeah, well, yeah, they went into and they gave a lot of different things, but I was going to kind of just go for kind of a Crusader look, like sort of Black Templars, but with just the elements of the Dark Angels. Maybe primarily black and white with very small touches of red, but yeah, might be too Black Templar-y. I can see that. But yeah, checkerboards, chessboards is not something I do too easily. Let's see. Oh, I need his beating stick. Yeah, checkerboards to me instantly says orc. Diamonds are Harlequin for me. Let's see. And now I need his shoulder. It's right here. Normally I do raptors, and when I have to do a raptor who has like black armor or green armor, or white armor, I at least just make one shoulder green to connect them. So like the chaplains have a single green shoulder, or the apothecaries have a single green shoulder. The reavers, I feel reavers need to be black. Don't know why. Maybe it's the skulls. But I was also vaguely thinking of if I was going to have some Dark Angels as like an allied contingent. Black would go better. Well, the dark green though. But then I'd have to paint the Terminators all in white, or off-white. I don't like that. So really, I'm looking for an excuse not to paint off-white Terminators, I guess, now that we've narrowed it down some. Can you guys hear me okay? I've got that, still doing that in one speaker. Yeah, well, also, we talked about this before. The Dark Angels, the green Aguilas do not look good. And so that's like a big turnoff for me. That's why I'm kind of like shying away from it. Oh, good. Thank you, creature. Oh, I haven't shaved these. Yeah, I've got a wireless microphone, but for the last few days, it's every time I try to connect it, it does this whenever it's putting out some sort of standard sound, like it automatically fills the volume bar of the sensor for the microphone. I've tried different USB ports and stuff and still doing it, so I don't know. So I'm just using the camera microphone. Which, I mean, I suppose that works. So you working on anything tonight, Vanzig? I don't know. It's only it's not even max. It's like steady in the middle. Like when you look at the mic auxiliary sensor, it's stuck in the middle. And when I monitored the line once, and it was just a steady beep. I was like, what the heck? So I'm going to have to fiddle with it sometime. I don't have time to fiddle with these things. Like I get so little free time. And if I got free time, I'm trying to do stuff like this. Because when you're getting older, all the things have to correlate and come together. You gotta have the time, the energy, the focus. So I want to paint or put together stuff. But I really should. I also got to put together. I got that ping pong table. I don't know if I told you about that, Vance. I'm going to use for the wargaming table. It's an 8x4 ping pong table. I got to put that together, and it's kind of funny because of course, it's from China. It has 4 pages of instructions, and like the first page is here are the parts. The second page is put all the shit together, and then third and fourth pages are like showing it folding up, and that's it. They're very, very general. Oh, Tranofex. Yeah, you should build a Tranofex. That's a very straightforward model. I built one of them. Very cool and a big gun. Big stat line. Like I always think, like if I actually made a Tyranid army to play, I would need 1 or 2 of those. Big bug and big gun, exactly. I got a couple of 3D printed Norns, the Norn Emissary and the Assimilator. They're very cool looking. Okay. Okay. There we go. Oh, and he needs his crotch guard. For the battle force, Carnifex or the Screamer? Or did you get the... oh, is that the Norn? From the old battle force? That guy's huge. Well, he's not really huge, but he's biggest of those bugs that you can get like in plastic sets. Yeah, that's a cool figure. Like I said, I got a couple 3D printed ones, but I kind of want to get like a legit one because it looks like it'd be fun to put together. Let's see. Did I get the... Yes, I got the wrong thing. Oh, no, you can use this one. You use a 4-prong one or a 2-prong. I think I'll go with the 2-prong one because I know my other guy is the 4-prong one. So this will at least differentiate them a little bit. Is that one from like a year or 2 ago? That was a cool battle force. I figure I'll at least tonight get through the Chaplain and Lionel Johnson, hopefully. Unless he's a little bit too complex. Hopefully he's not. I think I'll also put this guy's arm down a little bit since I know my other guy has. See, actually, I'm going to go get him so I can have a frame of reference. So this is the Chaplain that I have for the Raptors. He has the 4-prong one and his arm up, so I'm going to put this guy's arm down a little bit, just so he looks different. Yeah, I mean, 60 termagants though. That can be kind of fun to paint in a way, just because you get those rapid fire hits of endorphin for finishing them so quick. But yeah, I'm putting together a board, even though I know like I don't really have anyone to play with except for like my nephew, and my nephew has some friends that he's going to play with. But I don't know. For me. It's sort of preparing for better days, I guess you could say. But, and now his shield. But it's good to keep your hand in the hobby and everything. You know. I mean, honestly, what helps me a little bit is doing stuff like this, talking to people, and on my YouTube channel, I put like little videos of my completed figures, and that's nice to just get the occasional feedback, even when people are, well, no, nobody's ever actually been rude to me, but people say, "Hey, have you tried this technique or this technique?" and they've helped me improve my game. But you should work on stuff, Vanzig, and you should show me some pictures. Because I still use that trick you told me about with the Golem and Flesh. I use that in all my gold now. No longer as Warhammer. Yeah, I know what you mean about feeling the obligation if you go there. Like you gotta patronize the store. And honestly, at our age, it's hard to make friends. And yeah, online it's much cheaper, unless you can luck out and find one of those local game stores that they actually give you the 15% discount. Or that what they'll do sometimes is they'll have memberships and stuff. I used to have one store near here that did that, but then they closed up. Not through business practices, but because the man who was running it had to take care of family. But it was a nice place. The other store near here is pretty nice, but yeah, they're full price. Yeah, you definitely should, Vanzig. Things have been pretty busy for me. I haven't been able to stream as much. Been able to steal some time here and there. Okay. I'll get the hand. Oops. A piece of plastic on there. Just don't want to foul the connection. It's probably a little anal protective, but. There we go. And now he needs the big old skull in the front of it. With the shield and the very elaborate skull and everything, it looks like he would fit right in with Blade Guard. I mean, that is a beastly shield. I'm gonna put this. Actually, I'll put his arm on first. No, maybe. Yeah, I think I'll put the. No, I should probably put the shield on first and then the arm. Oh. Oh. Poor pup. Probably didn't mean it. And some dogs don't understand personal space. So it's got a little bit of a gap. Oh, there. That's why it's got a little bit of gap, because I didn't have it seated properly. I'm gonna have to hold this for a little bit. Okay, did not stick at all. Try to do this without putting pressure on the shield. I think that's right. And the shoulder pads in his head now. So, Creature, do you do any work on Warhammer figures, or have an army you're building? So I'm always curious about why people choose which. Might as well chop the rest of these out of here for the bits box. Oh. I don't know. You have to tell me if it works. Have you used the AK matte varnish? I think it's AK Interactive matte varnish. That stuff smells super bad. Like, I actually went and got other varnish. It smells that bad. Oh, good. I mainly do miniature painting, but I'm trying to get into the actual playing. I've only played like 10th edition like 3 times now total. But yeah, I spend most of my time assembling and painting. Is there anything in particular you like painting? Let's see. I wonder why the AK interactive stuff smells so bad. The thing is, when I've played Warhammer, I've been like, man, these rules are not that good. I'll like be spending time with them and be like, oh, wouldn't this be better, or wouldn't this be more fun? And nobody likes playing with somebody who's thinking along those lines, I guess. Have you tried Noosh yet? That video of it was very cool. Oh, that's a cool creature. I used to, my hobby mainly, well, I don't know if you looked at like the info thing for the channel, but I stopped playing Warhammer like 30 years ago and only got into it again recently. But in the in-between times, I was into, PC games and whatnot. And there's definitely something really nice about having palpable results when you're done. Really? Yeah. Well, a lot of people are saying getting positive results with Old World, and that's really a harken to the old way of doing things, Although that has its own problems with its rules too. Oh, you know what? I did not shave this. Big chunk of plastic on it. Yeah, the very first thing I painted when I got, when I got the bug, do it again. The very, very first thing. No way. Another man. Was a D&D miniature of an elf archer. And that was just me saying, like, can I still do this? So I did a quick slap chop on it. Oh, yeah. I've never... See, this is the only even vaguely artistic thing I've ever done. I couldn't imagine sitting in front of an easel trying to come up with an entire concept. I'm much better at... I mean, painting minis is it's like a coloring book. You're filling in the lines, basically, in a lot of ways. I mean, there's a lot of really talented mini painter guys who can do all sorts of things, but for me, it's a coloring book for the most part. I should actually see if I need to shave this one too. But it's just nice to have the physical results. Yeah, 3D coloring book, it really is. And I'm just happy that I can, get it stuck in the right place. Okay, now his head. I mean, like, the most creative thing I do is, like, okay, like, my Dark Angels are going to be in a different color scheme. Ta-da! But it's nice, I can, if I can paint within the lines, it's a good day. Oh, did my music stop? I think my music stopped. But I don't want to let up on the pressure on this right now. Okay, there. Chaplain. Ta-da-da. Get my music. Yes, continue watching. Yeah, like you don't have to. Oh, it's a little loud. Don't have to worry about concept beyond a limited extent. All right, these are bits. These can go away in my bits bag. This is trash. All right. And I already have one of these, so I only keep one copy of the rule or the instructions. Now here the big question is which head to put on Leon L. Johnson. There are 4 of them. Let me see. Yeah, he has those heads. And I'm leaning towards the top left because for my vague sort of concept is he's not functioning with the main chapter, He's sort of trying to do his own thing, maybe, or something. Some sort of, he's not happy with how the Dark Angels have evolved or something. Let's see. Yeah, I remember that being really nice because I was doing a Stompa, and the Stompers are like the rules are infamously terrible, and they had a wonderful annotated Stompa rules for it, and I was like, oh, that's good, because it had like all these like different hurdles that they marked in different sections, and they clarified which pieces were which numbers, because some of in the instruction they didn't have a bunch of the pieces labeled, and it was just a whole bunch of like pipes and cabling that all looked very similar. Okay, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. Straightforward. Really, honestly, the internet has been a big resource. Like, there's so many times when I have a question about hobbies and stuff that I just go to YouTube or whatever, and there's always something to shed light on it. And we talked about this before, Vanzig, about how we would have to go and just confer with a handful of people who had the arcane knowledge of painting miniatures, Let's see. His mighty helmet. Yeah, his head is probably a good chunk extra big. You can't use it on the other people. I don't know. The big helmet has an appeal because I do like just Primarchs having the helmets on, but the hood to me makes me feel like the hood over the helmet makes me feel like, okay, he's incognito and wise. Without the helmet, though, I love his face. He's, Charles Dance, basically. That's such an appeal. See, clearly, I should be able to magnetize his heads to match my mood. Leon's helmet. Too small for Primarch. Well, remember back then, Primarchs weren't any bigger. Primarchs, like I had the Lehman Russ figure, and it was the same size as a regular Marine. You know? It'd be easy to magnetize, but I know I'm not gonna, because it would ultimately be kind of silly. So I don't know. I'll have to probably put one on after another and see what I do, or what I'm gonna do. Yeah, I remember he had 2 wolves, and he's sort of leaning back. He had a top knot and a chain sword. Yeah, there's a Lehman Russ figure. Old Lehman Russ figure. But now you got me questioning it. Was it wrong? Was it there was an old Space Wolf first edition Space Wolf figure where he's got 2 dogs in front of him. I don't think it was Ragnar, because I don't think Ragnar was created then. I think Ragnar was created for what you call it, for 2nd or 3rd. But look it up. It should be like a Citadel figure from first generation. Because I mean that could easily be a thing that a nostalgia thing. And also Primarchs were smaller, like the Horus Heresy during the Horus Heresy figures, they've got them as, they're still big, but they're smaller than these size guys. Or they seem to be, at least. I'm gonna take my time with this guy, just because I don't want to screw him up at all. But I can picture the figure like clearly in my head. He's like holding 2 wolves on a leash, and they're like pulling at him. He has a chainsaw over his head. No, not on the sled. He's on foot. He's in the typical, like the gray and the yellow. In the picture that Games Workshop did of him, he's got the gray armor and the yellow shoulder pad. It was the only Space Wolf figure I had back in first edition. First or second edition. But if you can't find it, I'll have to hunker down and look for it at some point. If I'm wrong, it'd be nice to know, because I've been talking all this time. Saying, oh yeah, Primarchs have been small. remember, I think last time I remember seeing him, I think, was on 1D4chan a long time ago. I mean, you usually have better Google Flu than I do. I'll have to try to find it at some point. Maybe it's Mandela effect. Or, dementia. What do you mean? Like when you say knight, I think of the Imperial Knights. Yeah. Well, remember like how big he was. Yeah, in Epic Battles, the first Mortarion figure was a 6mm, and he was about that big, which was huge. He was like 40 feet tall, in effect. He was this big Grim Reaper. Yeah. But I always figured, that was because they became demons. That's why they were so big. I was talking to an acquaintance of mine, and he was like looking at the Necron figures I've been working on, and I'm using a couple of proxies for the Catan because I don't like Games Workshop's Catan figures except for the Void Dragon. Void Dragon's really nice. But he was like, you only have to use a 40mm base for your Catan, and that's actually better because a smaller base on such a powerful model, you leave a small footprint on the battlefield, and it's harder for people to get into melee with you. And I was like, I'd rather have the bigger, cooler looking figure, That's just me. Okay. Right. There is Boot Dread. But those 6mm Chaos Primarchs were not really that good looking. They were kind of goofy. Then again, a lot of epic miniatures. Yeah, GW. Huh. Does he have like the two wolves and stuff? He's got like his mouth open. You see the fangs, and I mean it's typical first and second edition artwork, sculpt rather. You can tell they really put a lot of engineering into this figure. It's really well designed so far. Ah. Interesting. I clicked right in there. Oh no, I don't have it anymore. I don't. I lost all of my stuff when I was probably in my 20s. My parents got rid of all my stuff, which I told them they could. So honestly, a lot of it would be pretty embarrassing to have right now because my paint schemes were not that good. I was only really kind of proud of my Eldar because those were a lot of fun to paint. If I had it, I would fish it out. Oh, did you? Is it Lehman Russ? I mean, if it's not, I would be pleased to be relieved of that incorrect opinion. How does this go in there? Oh, that's nice. Oh, I remembered him being like, well, let me see. Okay, let me see if I'm gonna copy that, take a quick look. Yes, that's the one. Lehman Russ, Space Wolf Commander. I'm sorry, I imagined him with a leash. That is him exactly. That was the only figure I had way back when. Gosh, my memory of it was totally wrong. Well, not totally wrong, but I always imagined him with his mouth open. and holding their leash. You know, that's probably because that's how I imagine it when I put him in the game. Man, the Horus Heresy figure is so cool, though. That's such a cool figure. Okay, thank you for doing all that digging. Yeah. I thought he was holding his sword up, and then I thought he had his mouth open with the fangs and whatever. But that is the exact figure, though. But at least there, you know, I was like, okay, Primarchs used to be regular sized. So that was what I was always basing that opinion off of. Alright. Legs are done. Now we need cloak and chest. 9, 10, 11, and 12. Where is that? It's 12. There's his gun. Oh, is that what was in the codex? That might be why. Well, at least my memory's not totally going. Thanks for looking that up. I appreciate it. Because otherwise I would have been digging around. Cool. So maybe I guess that's where my memory comes from. Okay, chest piece. No, that was for 40K. No, the Chaos Primarchs that they had the figures of, those were from Epic because they were. If you look those up, those are some wacky figures. But yeah, this was from back when they were like. I think that figure was from first edition. I just remember getting it and being like, "Oh, cool." Back then, also, Primarchs didn't have the cachet that they have now. You know, they were just the big daddies, but they didn't have all the story connected to them. They had broad strokes in the story, but not much more than that. But if you look up like Epic Space Marine Angron, he just looks like a devil, like not even like a bloodthirster, just like a regular devil. And Mortarion is a big Grim Reaper. Fulgrim looks kind of like what his new figure looks like, but it's serpent, couple arms, I think. And Magnus looks like a big dumpy troll with a giant eyeball. Nothing at all like his current figure. But he had the single best gun in all of Epic. He was the only one who had like a 2+ to hit, -6 to save, and did and insta killed things, like gave an instant critical to Titans. if I recall the rules correctly. So he really killed one thing. But he had nothing else. He had no other spells. Maybe I'm doing this wrong. No, that's not it. Okay. So probably in second edition, I guess. I never got the second edition box set, so that line's always blurry for me. I could have sworn, though, he came out first edition. Before the Codex, I think he was like some sort of special thing. Like some sort of special promo or something. Weird. And this figure is really engineered well. I was like, all right, how is this actually going to fit in there? And it just fits in there perfectly. That is nice. Okay. I've never heard of Kyrie Grimblood. Don't know that guy. Yeah, I think they might have just made a figure of him. Because I would have sworn, like, yeah, but of course, I mean, my memory's not the greatest, but I would have sworn it was before second edition. This is such a nice figure. Pistol? Where does the pistol go? Behind that. Right there. I don't think he had an image in Rogue Trader though, except for the little blurb. But I don't know. There we go. It's coming along. Coming now is Cloak. Okay. 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Yeah, Rogue Trader artwork is kind of crazy. And we thought it was the coolest thing. But who knows, maybe years from now we'll think like, oh god, Primaris or something. Another cloak part. There it is. Oh, it's the lion, like, carcass. Is it? I think it's mostly black and just two things of red, isn't it? If I recall. Like around the shoulder pads. Yeah. I kind of like that. I'm sort of leaning towards that angle. Excuse me. Yeah. Well, look at the Gene Stealer entry. That is a very different Gene Stealer than we have now. The Amble remains mostly untouched. Were the rules for the vampires, didn't they have like some sort of modifier to a basic profile? I'm probably thinking of something else. Were the star vampires? I'm trying to remember reading the book. So I used to read it fairly often as a kid, just for the heck of it. Okay. Wow, that's interesting. Interesting. The thing was, Rogue Trader was very much not an RPG. You know, it gave you stats and stuff, and it wasn't even really a war game. It was some crazy amalgamation. Have they done anything with vampires in 40K? Because I've never heard of them since that. Terra Squirrel. But did you see the Amble? That looks almost exactly like the current Amble. Let me look through it. Like the one from, what is that? Warhammer Quest, Black Fortress. And this goes on his back. Wow, this is engineered really well. It just shows what Games Workshop can do. Oh, oh, right, in the very far back, didn't it? My music. In the way far back, it had those. And they did have orc miniatures, didn't they? Like the first, they had a. The Marines were plastic, but the orcs were metal, weren't they? There was like 17 of them, if I recall, the box set. What the heck? Paper Dread. I wonder, did that come with the first edition of Rogue Trader, or was that added later on? Because I remember seeing it, but I don't remember with like the very first grouping or first printing, maybe. Although no, I remember something about some counters in the back. Yeah, but I mean, I don't think it was in the rules, but I remember they would every now and then release miniatures with nothing, like no rules connecting them or anything. So I remember the first, remember the Rogue Trader Compendium, where I think that's where they had all the army lists, or at least the Space Marine army list. Because in Rogue Trader they didn't have any like actual rules beyond the like basic profiles and things for monsters and critters, if I recall. Okay. Now his shoulder pads. You know, he's not that bit too big out of scale like with the other guys. Like he's taller, but he's not hugely taller. I think maybe his base makes him seem bigger. The puppy just woke up. I'm keeping an eye on her tonight because she was not feeling well the other night. I might consider basing him in a different way. Yeah, I mean, look at his backpack is pretty normal sized. Huh. Interesting. Oh, there's. It kind of pleases me because I always just assume. I mean, Rabuti Gilliman, he looks huge. Is that a fist? Not sure if it's a fist. Uh-oh. Uh-huh. There was a part that was loose in the box. Yep, this is it. There we go. I was almost going to have a freak out there. I don't know. I haven't read any of that lore stuff at that point. I think that was in the time when I wasn't really paying too much attention. Okay. Huh. I mean, 3 meters tall is pretty... Oh, I gotta let the puppy out. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. Well, Marines are supposed to be like 8 feet tall, so 9.8 would be fitting. And this guy's definitely bigger, but I always thought like Robuti was like almost dreadnought sized, you know? What was that? Like shaving? Yeah, this whole team's tall guy. Center. There you go, that makes sense. The Emperor wanted every possible advantage for his Primarchs. Man, I don't know why, but I feel more nervous putting this guy together than any other figure I've done. I guess that's just the cachet of the character in this story. You know, the lore that we've all read. Because it's, you know, it's a normal priced figure. It's not like he's an Imperial Knight or anything. So it's not like the cost. Primarchs are all shapeshifters? Yeah. Really? I didn't know that. If that's like an actual thing. The puppy's come in to join us. She's laying in her bed now. Good girl. Okay. Alright, shoulder pads now. See, the big lion head one goes over here. Well, maybe, you know, Russ put on, you know, lifts at that point. Well, that's the thing. With a lot of the GW stuff, the authors don't care what other authors write a lot of times. They just sort of do their own thing. And they don't really seem to have a Bible, you know, to reference. This is a nice figure. Yeah. Leon L. Johnson's Papa Nurgle gift. Gotta hold this here for a second. Oh, really? I didn't know that. Hopefully that'll stick. What else do we need? What is the actual name of the pieces of armor that go on next to the pauldron? It's like what they use to couch lances against, traditionally, if I'm not mistaken. This little part, like next to his pauldron right there, that little bit. I don't know what that's called. Oh, if I can get it. Yeah. I don't know what that is called. A crotch. Thank you. Interesting. I knew it had a name, but I could not recall it, and I've never heard that before. So, a crotch. A crochet. Okay, now I need his sword and his shield. I keep sliding. Yeah, he's got little wings for his backpack. Do you know if those the little guys, the Watchers in the Dark, have any impact with rules? Like, are they counters that you use for certain things? The Watchers in the Dark? Yeah. Because I was thinking of just taking them and making them separate figures. Because I don't like to include them in the thing, like the vague, headcanon I'm thinking of is like, would he have attendants? Would he have these guys around him if he was going off doing his own thing, sort of thing? I might just make them separate figures. Hobbits. Interesting. I mean, they're interesting figures, but I don't like them falling around with the sword sheath or a secondary banner or whatever. You're probably right. There you go. Nurglings in a trench coat standing on top of each other. See, you're slowly but surely you're convincing me, Manzing. Dark angels are forces of Nurgle. Clearly. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, you would imagine, like, conceptually, a Space Marine chapter would not accept these strange Xenos in amongst them, unless there was something that could allay any suspicions or whatever. It's hard to imagine what that could possibly be, you know? Yeah. So just yet more evidence. Well, I kind of want to get the Cypher figure too, because that's a cool looking figure. So at first, I didn't think I would want any Dark Angels. Good. Mass longsword. And that pops right in there. And now it won't. Try to take over the chaos world. Huh. See, I didn't know any of that. I haven't read any of that. That is a nice figure. All right, now here's the moment of truth. The head. So the lazy part of me is inclined for the big helmet because I don't have to put in the iron halo then. But it's a little too garish for me, I'm afraid. It's a little bit too much. The gigantic, hat, the wings. But I'm actually a little bit tempted to magnetize it. All fall into the rest of the galaxy. They teleported them not to one particular location, but scattered them throughout the galaxy. Serves as Malal, yeah. God of Order, supposedly. Mm. You know something, Vanzig? This may be the first figure where I actually don't glue the head to the body, and I actually paint it separately. 'Cause I feel like I kind of need to. You're right. Nurgle probably already, bought his contract at that point. I think I may actually do that. Yeah. Look at me getting all hoity-toity. I'm painting the head separately. That could be it. And now the base. Did this take? Yeah, that took two. Looks like good joins. Maybe. You never know. These heads are too big to use with anybody else. That's too bad. Okay, base. And then I suppose I should do the little dudes, but I'm definitely going to put them on a different base. Yeah, I'm not going to put those little dudes on there. Puppy's over there in the corner farting. There, now they can just hear a little hoot. Well, Vanzig, if we get down to the point next couple of years and they reveal the Nurgle connection, we can have a good laugh. Ever fight a Nurgle? I don't know. What do you think of that? There's that theory that's going around on the internet about Rabuti Gilliman is really a clone. That the real Rabuti Gilliman's dead. They've been doing lots of stuff with clones, at least so I've heard. Like Fulgrim having a non-corrupted clone. The second weakest Primarch, with Lehman Russ being the worst. Did he? The fool! Those are only strength 4. Who's the weakest fighter? Did you say it was Corvus Corax or something? I mean, I like Corvus Corax, but I just know he's more of a guerrilla fighter. Why is Lorgar pathetic? I know almost nothing about Lorgar. Who's Lorgar? Is that the Iron Hands, or I don't know what his chapter is. I don't know. All right, so that's what we're going with. And then with that head. So cool. Oh, word bearers. Okay, cool. So, I don't know. I mean, religion is a good complement to fighting. That's funny. The Night Haunter. That's oh gosh, the Batman guy. Poor Lorgar. Alright, I think he's done. What time is it? Oh, it's almost 6 o'clock. I'm gonna have to go, Vanzig. I think that's... My wife should be up soon. I think I'll make us some breakfast. Erebus. Erebus, everybody hates Erebus. You too. You take care, Vanzig. It's always nice to talk to you. I'll go ahead and close down shop. You have a good night or a good morning. I'll see you later.